Hit the button. Ew.
Hit
Mm-mm.
it. Phil, that's
Where's
your cue,
Phil?
Phil.
Is Phil here
Where's
today?
Phil? Phil, what's
Is
up?
it sick day?
This is about
Okay.
delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
You know, we just do that because, it irritates a certain group of people out there. But I want to say thanks for joining everybody watching Real Deal Xbox Podcast right now. We appreciate you. Hit the like button, tell everybody that we're live, as we do have some good topics for you tonight, as well as a great panel. And, hey, let's do some introductions real quick. We'll do some shout-outs. We'll get into things. D-Batch, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Enjoying this heat wave. Finally, it cooled off today, but yeah, it's good to be back on. To have some interesting topics this week, so I'm ready to go. So let's get on.
Let me grab these two real quick, just because it's very convenient. Toolman says, he says, welcome, Mr. Boomstick XL, to the Xbox Mosh Pit tonight. Shout out to Boom. Shout out to Spider-Man 365. He's a channel member. Thank you very much, sir. We've also got, speaking of Boom, we got Boom. Thanks for coming on, buddy. I did your show like several weeks back when I had COVID. Turns out, right? That's what that was. And then,
Yes.
It's good to have you back in here and kind of giving your opinion on everything that's happening with gaming, man. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, man, this is awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a minute since I've been on with you guys. Everyone on this panel is just a rock star. And like I said, I used to listen to you guys before I was a podcaster. So to be here and to be asked back again, it is a big deal. I'm incredibly grateful and cannot wait to get into the topics.
We are all just assholes with microphones.
You know what? I'm glad that he didn't finish that the way I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to say, "I've been listening to you guys since I was a little kid." I'm like, "Boom, you're older than us."
I'm older than everybody here. That's
Oh,
right.
shit. Hey, don't make assumptions. Fonzarelli, how you been, buddy?
Yeah, don't make assumptions. I'm old too. I've been great, man. It's good to be here. Tuesday, another day for RDX, and yeah, we've got some decent topics tonight, and Boom's here, so we're gonna have a good time.
Thanks,
Yes.
sir.
Very much so. We've also got XCloud. Tim Dog, how you been, brother?
Good. Just been very busy. I'm in school this week, learning some new crafts. Pretty happy about that. Just been extremely busy. Good to have Boom here. Always a good member. I've done his show quite a few times. It's happy to have him here. And we should have some good stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, shout out to Boba Fett Fun, saving RDX Fun. Fuck you, Boba. How about that, bitch? Shout out to Ashtray. We've also got a bunch of other awesome people in the chat, including Mr. Bushido, Tony. We've got, that's Ashtray again. We got also the moderators of the show. We can't forget those guys, Lethal and others that do show up, moderate the show, Nanopolymath. Thank you guys for joining. We've also got Zauker87. He's been playing Multiverses all day. How you been, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah, that's not all day, bro. It's been all week. I can't stop playing the damn game. I think I have like 40 hours in it. I reached top 100,000 in the world, so fuck everyone.
Wow.
Dude, it's decent, man.
It's
I
damn
got
good
into
game.
it. Yeah.
Fun said, even I got into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that play it with me. They're like, "This is fun. Can we keep going?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it's good. It's good times. So, anyways, yeah, good. We had some good topics too. And Boom, it's good to have you here, man. I've been
Thank you,
watching
sir.
you since I was a little kid. There you go.
And that is true.
That's probably true. Yeah.
DS in the chat said, "Why does Zauker not sound like a noof?" I do not.
Is a toddler.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. Perfect timing.
Yeah, bitch.
But yeah, shout out to everyone joining us live. Shout out to Boba. Shout out to, again, all our Australian friends. And let me give more shout outs here in my Patreon tier. Starting with Boba Fett. We've also got Reluctant Dodo, Nerdy Meathead, Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, Dave Incubus, Ricky Fallon, Fault Lines, Not Sidelik, Achievement, Nettle Polymath, Zordon, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 8402, Strike, Khalifa, Foreign Object, Gagquisteo, John Blue, as well as Vec Boss, Real Deal Neil, Suicide Kings. Shout out to you, I saw you in the chat, brother. Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. You guys are amazing. You know what else is amazing? Is another Game Pass tier coming to consumers, testing already, and what is that, Colombia and Ireland, right? Those two?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
yes, they are testing for a family plan where you will be able to have multiple accounts, up to 4, it says, on one, and you'll be able to save some money potentially here. So this is kind of an awesome deal if you want to pay. What is this going for?
$25 in the United States for to add.
And that's
4
Game Pass
people.
Ultimate. That's 4
That is
accounts.
correct. Yes.
So how come? I mean, some people act like this isn't really a big deal, but I guess Boom will start with you. I mean, why is this the case? I mean, $25 a month is really cheap, really, when you think about it.
Well, I mean, let's compare apples to oranges. Sony's top tier per month is $18, and you don't get day and date. You don't get cloud gaming. There's a lot of things you don't get.
And that's one account.
And that's one account. For $6 more, you can add 4 people, whether that be your friends, your family. As long as you're in the same country, Microsoft says it's okay. You don't have to live in the same household. And considering that everything has doubled in price when you go to a food shopping or even fill up your tank for gas, this is a big deal. Like I said, I said it on my show earlier today on the Xbox Factor podcast. Microsoft is circling the wagons, and they have surrounded both Nintendo and Sony, and they're making moves that might seem inconsequential to any conversation when you talk about one versus the other. But when you start stacking these things on top of each other, Game Pass, day and date, you got cloud gaming in there. They have the app coming to TVs in 2022. You got Call of Duty eventually going to be in Game Pass for $15 a month or $25 per month if you have the family plan. It's staggering what Microsoft is doing. And, the whole thing from last week about Sony being scared, I think the scared might have been overplayed, certainly concerned. And I think they're reading the room, and they are potentially going to be in third place once this whole thing is done, because they're not going to beat Nintendo.
So you don't think they're going to rise to the occasion and try to compete?
I do not.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, let me ask Fonzarelli. I mean, Game Pass is a big deal, and again, we kind of already know about this topic. We've kind of covered it, well, at least some of us in some videos. But Game Pass is, again, I think it's the best value in gaming. And Fonz, this family plan, do you see anyone trying to compete with this anytime soon? Or Sony really right when they're saying we can't fuck with this?
No, they can't. They can't. I mean, if you break this down, this is $5 per person. If you charge your friends and family for this, but I mean, really, I could see a lot of people chipping in together, even friends saying, "Hey, let's go ahead, put in $5 each. Bam, we've got Xbox, we've got Game Pass Ultimate, all access to all these games. It's a damn good price. If that stays that price, that is such a good value. That is the price that I was asking for about, a couple of months ago when we did first talk about this story, and we were talking about how much it might be and everything. I was hoping it would be around $25. I mean, that's a great steal. But even if it was, more expensive, I could see it being, a good deal. But no, $25. Yeah, that's awesome.
They could have probably launched it at 35, honestly, if they really wanted.
But I really don't want to put those numbers out there. I don't want to give them any kind of ideas. But you know what? $25.
Trust me, they already thought
That's
about
a
it.
Sweet spot. And you know what? And I understand. Me and Mav were talking about it the other day on my show, and he brought up a good point. He said, the reason why he believes they're starting in Colombia and Ireland is because they're smaller markets, easier to control, and they can really view it all, what's going on, how it's working out. And, it makes a lot of sense, especially when you have to be in country to, have this deal. Your friends or your family has to be in the same country. That's fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can see a lot of people getting together, friends, family, and saying, "Hey, let's put $5 in, let's chip in. Hey, we've got this, we've got Game Pass." And damn, that's such a good deal. I wish I had 4 friends out there that'll do this with me, but unfortunately I don't.
Boba says Xbox marketing 5 for 5 is fire. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they could go for that. By the way, Shooter in the chat says, "Hey, dealer, Pandal, and of course you, Mr. Young Boomstick." Also, shout out to channel member Meat Puppet 070 says, "RDX best out there." Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. I'm glad that's your opinion, and thank you for watching. And thank everyone else for watching. If you're wanting this fight night back in Pat 360, I've been playing a lot of Vanguard. I'm not trying to show that 2 or 3 times in a week or two, but I figured I would mix it up a little bit. If you're here, hit the like button, tell people we're live. We're talking about Game Pass family plan, which Tim Dog, we've been talking about this for quite a bit. I mean, this is actually out. It's a thing. It's official. They're doing it in two territories. Well, how long until it comes to the States?
Oh, I think it's eminent, like in the next couple of months. We talked about it, and I had heard the $25 that deal way back when. I believe we talked about it on the show. We did say it would be 25 a few months back. Listen, at the end of the day, this is Xbox looking to get the most active users, and this is part of their plan, I believe, to just basically dominate or really take a firm handle of basically users. And what's going to happen here is I think Fonz talked about it. You're going to have people that are going to group up and get $5 a month, 5 friends. Kids will do that. But you will also get somebody like me who will get it, and then I will distribute it to people who might not be in the ecosystem, but heck, now they got access to XCloud. They got access to all the stuff that you get for Ultimate, and it becomes a domino effect. It just keeps building and building. To me, this is first part of their. I think they have a multi-tiered plan. I do believe I talked about this yesterday that they probably going to drop the multiplayer. The multiplayer game, the multiplayer
The
paywall, and this in part is a way to recoup those users and stuff like that. So I do think that that's part of this, and that's down the line. It's strictly when they can probably hit with that, because when they do that, they're gonna have to have the supply to handle the influx of players. And then obviously ad nauseum the Call of Duty deal. Once they get that and they have all this under their belt, I really see them formidable for the future. And I just love the idea. I think this is a great way. I'm not. There's some particulars that I want to find out.
Hey, hang
I
on,
know
blustery. You just said y'all are falling for the family plan. What is it a fall for?
All for.
Listen, you're gonna.
That's preposterous.
It's something. It's something to get. Listen, I'm a family. I have 5 people in my family that I could get on Xbox
Makes sense,
Live.
right?
I mean, I just that sounds a little bit of jealousy and just think about it. It's something that possibly. I don't know if this is going to be the case, but now part of those people in your tier, will they be able to game share their portion? If they could do that, that's you're talking about
No.
but listen, even so, which I don't think we'll be able to, but you'll able to basically get 6 accounts out of this. Your own, you could share like you're sharing right now and add somebody, and then you obviously have the 4 other accounts. That's a big deal. It really is a big deal, and I feel like this is a part of their plan, and I don't think Sony has a match for it. I just, we talked about last week, and all the jokes aside, Sony being scared. I don't think. I used to think that they would have an answer to this. I don't think that they will. I just feel Microsoft really is, at this point, a different league.
Ashtray says Sony will go the same route as Sega. He being savage.
Can I add something to the conversation I think is relevant?
Sure. Let me grab Zalker's opinion real quick, and then we'll come back. Zalker, what are your thoughts?
To be honest with you, man, like every time I've looked at this and read about it, it just shoots me back to 2013 with the 10-person family share. It just feels like they're going back to that and being like, fuck you. Because I remember when that came out, everybody was like, I don't care about that. I just want to make sure I can get my disc to my friend. And they stopped everything. They stopped a lot of those planning. And I remember when that was announced, that was one of the best things I saw during the Xbox One. And this feels like shades of that, except on another level. Because while you're saying I think Tim said it's 6 accounts. When you look at it, it's literally like 10 accounts, because you're getting the Xbox Ultimate. So you get different games on Xbox Game Pass for the console, and you get different games for Xbox Ultimate for Game Pass on PC. And then you throw in the streaming of the cloud. It's like those to me just seem like different services. I understand that it's under the same Xbox umbrella, but you get a lot better, like you get a lot different experiences on each one, right? Like that's just if you have those platforms, if you have a PC or an Xbox or something on your tablet that you could stream, every single one of those feels like a different experience to me under Xbox. And you're getting all of that with all your friends for, like Fawn said, what is like $5 a month or $6 a month.
Speaking of Fonz, he's not here. What happened to him?
I think he disconnected.
Fraud.
All I know is, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add to the quick math. Say it's like $6.30. So $6.30 between 4 people a month for all those games and Game Pass, and just like what you said, the cloud streaming, you got PC games, you got the console games. It's a bargain, and you can go even further and convince your friends that are playing on Sony's platform to say, hey, now's a good time to come over. We can all split this 4 ways here, and we enjoy all the games. You still can play your games on Sony, and then you get to play all the games on Microsoft here and enjoy the multiplayer with me and Ralph and fucking Johnny. And and game away.
And that's the big thing to me, is that I think they're realizing that a lot of people are playing cross-platform. Like when me and Dealer play Zombies, I'm on PC, he's on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing. And I think Xbox is seeing these analytics and are like, you know what? We got to find kind of like, what is the little bighorn strategy of getting people in from all over, from mobile and from PC. And maybe a console friend will get them in and be like, hey, if we just do this family share thing, bam, that's another user within the Xbox ecosystem again from a different platform.
Mm-hmm. Hey, well, I want to come back to D70. I want to come back to Boom. Zalker, I'll have you catch these chats, and then we're going to move forward because this topic's kind of straightforward. $25 a month. They're testing it now in a couple territories. Hopefully, it's the same price here, right? But let us know what you think in the chat, guys. Of course, Boom. What do you want to say about?
Yeah, I just wanted to
Game
add. The other day, Dealer. You had Michael Pachter, who gets it wrong half the time, but he gets it wrong he gets it right half the time. He said, he has a feeling that once Call of Duty gets into Xbox Game Pass, they're going to have 100 million subscribers, right? Yeah. Which is possible because, again, that's a very casual game. It's not a casual game. It attracts the casual audience. If you were to equate 100 million subscribers, that's over $1 billion per month on just this one service. That doesn't count sales of games, of consoles, and microtransactions. Just imagine that, folks. Over $12 billion per year for Game Pass if they're able to hit the 100 million mark. That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. And something else that's crazy is we've got Burger Cat in the chat. He says, talk about Xbox, I'm talking about Sony. Buddy, just fuck off real quick, because again, they're on the same coin, two different sides. If we want to talk about Sony or Xbox, we're going to do that because I run the show how I want. But also, why don't you go demand that the Sony guys stop talking about Xbox? I have a feeling you've never done that before. So good luck. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, and also, Zalker, I want to jump to you, get these, and then we can move forward to something else, something more interesting.
Yeah, there's a bunch here. So we got, thanks Hargeet again for sending me these. He has them in Discord for me. So we got Shooter2853 says, hello, Dealer, panel, and you too, young Mr. Boom. We got Meat Puppet. He says, RDX, best out there. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. We got Nano Polymath. He says, 1440/60 RDX hits harder than Morrison and Fight Night. Total KO, show panel, and chat. Dealer, we just saw you lose. I'm just saying.
Probably. I don't know.
We got Danny Patchett officially. He says, boom, in the house. One of my favorite hosts, Fonz and Dealer, are on my favorite list, but Zalker87 because he's a toddler. Ooh. I appreciate it, man. After acquisition, does COD after Modern Warfare 2 go to $60? And what about PS5 versions? Also, what happened to Exo Mecha? Zalker is a fraud. I love that I'm in these chats like every single. It's beautiful.
Hey, shout out to Sean Labrie as well. It's good to see him in the chat, man. He did the overlay, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, Son of the Fed, we don't know what's going to happen with PS5 versions, with Xbox, or with Call of Duty. We got to wait for that deal to finish, man. And what did happen to Exo Mecha, man? I'm kind of waiting for that. That game looked sick when it was shown. We got Hectic World. He says, does the 4 extra members counts towards the total number of Game Pass? I say, yeah, why not? Well, of course, it's 4 different users. It's just says, been tuning in every week. Just want to say I appreciate the content. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Love listening and seeing this. Appreciate it, man. We got Hargeet. Family share could be a part of Ultimate. No reason to say it is so much value, just like $70 games. Microsoft isn't going bankrupt with this. Should be $15. Damn, Hargeet.
For all these accounts?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. That's crazy. I think 25 is a great value for what they're offering, but hey, that's just my opinion. 15 would be nuts. Could you imagine?
I like Hargeet. Yeah, make it 15.
Holy shit.
We got Nano Polymath. He says, poor Jim will be sat in the corner, rocking back and forth, crying to himself, but it's not sustainable. Damn. You guys are savage.
Yep.
That's the last one.
There we go. Boom. Hey, let me go ahead and move forward to something, again, a little bit more interesting in my opinion. There is going to be a certain showing of a certain game that we are certainly actually looking forward to, more so after they actually showed off some gameplay. We're talking about Redfall. Bethesda has confirmed that they are actually, they're going to be showing off 30 minutes of Redfall stuff coming out at the upcoming QuakeCon event. This is kind of a big deal, man, because we haven't seen any live gameplay, though they did give us a good slice at E3. This is going to be nice, Alker.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see like them go through a mission or something because I know that this game is very highly anticipated. After we saw that big like 7-minute gameplay clip during E3, it got me even more hyped for it. I wonder what they're going to show because I know QuakeCon they show a lot of stuff, man. And if they're going to be focusing on gameplay, then I might tune in. Like, geez, I didn't think anything was going to be announced. Honestly, did you? Like at QuakeCon, like I thought they were going to just keep quiet because I feel like every studio's like putting out that paragraph delay. Sorry,
Yeah,
but everything else, like I'm glad they're showing it, and yeah, we'll see what they got to show, man. Bethesda and Arcane are very talented, so
definitely. We're going to talk more about some of those delays later in the show. Fonz, you're back. What are your thoughts on
my internet,
the Redfall thing?
man, my internet held me hostage there for a few minutes. I was like, you better come back on, bitch. Anyways, I'm back, and I'm glad we're talking about this topic because Redfall, this half-hour showcase, when I read this on Saturday, I believe it was, they're going to put more emphasis, or basically they're going to show more of the solo gameplay experience with the game. Because they want you to know that, yes, while you can play this in co-op, it's a great experience in co-op, this is also a solo game as well, and they're really going to focus on that. So you will see a lot of gameplay there, of course, and I can't wait to see it, man. It wasn't really even on my radar. I'm not a huge fan of Arcane, but I'm not into the Dishonored games or any of those. But this one stands out a bit. It looks a lot different from those games. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm with you.
I'm looking forward to this for half an hour. I mean, that's quite a bit of a showcase there for one game.
It looks a lot more fast paced. It looks like I liked Dishonored. I beat the first one. And like I get like Dishonored's very like what Arcane's done before. Same with Deathloop. It's a little more slower paced, I guess, is how you would put it. But this game just looks like you're gonna get in with your buddies, do some crazy abilities, fight some vampires, like go on top of roofs. Like it just looks like a very different game than what Arcane makes, which gets me excited because I like the type of game they're showing so far, and I hope this 30-minute slot that they're putting out like kind of just amplifies that even more.
Yeah, 30 minutes is a lot. You're right. It'll be interesting to see what they actually show. They showed a lot of it at E3. I wonder what other aspects they plan on showing, in fact.
This is the good thing about Bethesda, right? Bethesda usually does a lot of different shows. And this is, they're owned by Microsoft now. So, Xbox fans, rejoice, man. You guys got a bunch of different shows to look out for because they do show different things, different games and stuff at their cons and stuff. And then, again, maybe Tim don't want to hear this, but when the ABK deals goes through, you've got those BlizzCons and all that stuff to look forward to as well. So, the showcase here for Redfall, I think that's great, man. Half an hour, that's going to give you a good look to see whether or not this is a game for you.
Boomstick, how likely is it that we get an announcement from Microsoft about any other thing there at QuakeCon?
Interesting. Waiting for Quake, to be honest with you. Like, I really want a Quake announcement. We've been hearing that they were going to Doomify it, right? Like, they were going to do what they did with Doom 2016 and make the series like we've never seen before. I believe that the original report came the way of they were going to make it a female protagonist, which I thought was pretty cool because they're really, it was just a male protagonist, kind of like the Doom guy was back in the days. I would love to see a story, and I would love that to be an announcement because I think Quake is just waiting in the rafters to come back big. And when you look at what Microsoft is doing in the overall picture, having all of the IPs they currently have, and then you add ABK, and now you talk about bringing back an old school Bethesda IP like Quake. Oh my God, dude, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people are speculating. But again, 30 minutes of Redfall gameplay. That's anyone else got anything to say on this? What do you expect to see? What do you hope to see, really?
I think 30 minutes of Redfall tells me that they're very confident in the gameplay. 30 minutes is a lot of time to digest that game. So I'm expecting it to look and play well. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. I'm not really into these types of games, but they do have the opportunity to sell me on the game. So let's see what they have to show. But 30 minutes, that's a lot of gameplay.
Shout out to Gang and Denial in the chat as well. So many of you guys in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Almost 900 people already watching us live, guys. Hit the like button. Tell everybody we're live. We do appreciate you as we do cover the latest
Close it out.
events
I'll close
here.
it out with the
Yeah, go
arcade
ahead.
stuff. I just say I think the game is bigger than we think if they're putting 30 minutes. I think that they want to show a lot of the mechanics of it and show how big
Don't
it
get
is.
us hyped
and
up,
like how
Zalker.
Agreed,
No,
bro.
I'm just saying, man. Like if it's 30, because they've already showed. They showed us like almost 10 minutes of gameplay at E3, and I was like, cool. And
Don't
then
you
I was
hype
like,
us up,
solo.
Zalker. Don't do it.
And that's what the solo experience, right? They want to put
Yeah.
emphasis on that because it's a bigger game than most people are anticipating.
Yeah, and that's and then not to mention Bethesda has always shown gameplay, man. Like they've always shown like, 15, 20 minutes of Skyrim before, like Fallout, like they always just stack gameplay to show you what the game is exactly. And whatever they show you, you're going to get when you buy
That's
it.
what you
So
get,
that's
yeah.
what I love. And so I want to see this, and if they do show 30 minutes, maybe we even get a goddamn release date. Who knows?
Zorka, can I ask you a question? Obviously you're a developer, right? So you understand how the development process of maybe not so much games, but you understand. Here's a good question for you. If this was delayed this year to first half of 2023, we don't know when, but if they're going to show off a half an hour of gameplay, someone said it earlier, they're very confident. Does this make maybe January, February release? If and again, where we are in the year, we're in August, right? They're showing a half an hour of single player gameplay. That's confident. And we still have 4 months left of the year. So technically, if they were to release it in January or February, that's still 5 or 6 months away. Do you think that it's that close?
It depends, right? Like that's it depends on, because I think a lot of games are getting delayed into 2023. So I don't think it's about the development anymore. I think it's about competing with other games. And
Oh,
I think that
exactly.
I think it's about locking down a date, because that's kind of like what the movie industry does, right? They lock down weekends for the maximum profit.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're going to be trying to do here with gaming next year, is that I think developers are just going to start locking down dates. And I think that for Xbox, like they said, hey, this is the 12-month period of everything coming out. When you think about the next year, you got Diablo 4 and you got Starfield and you got Redfall. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes like, February, March, April, or March, April, May.
I think
can
they
see
should
those 3
target
months.
the first half, first part of the year there. I mean, it's smart for them, right? Like, Tim,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say? I mean, that game should come out probably sooner than later, before the others at least.
Yeah, I think the reason that they're showing it is a good sign. At this time, they probably, if everything went right, we'd probably have a release date, and it would be coming out this year. As we know, it's been delayed. But I do think that you're going to get an in-depth, in-depth maybe tutorial, or they talk about the game, they talk about the characters, and 30 minutes is it's a good thing. So I think that's a good sign. I think that they I think that they have a good game on their hands. I was told the reason why these games were delayed was they're too big to fail. Like they have to have these games hit and be what they're supposed to be.
They can't
and I
fuck up the
think-
launch like they did
yeah.
Halo and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be good, and I'm happy that we see something, because I as of last week I was saying you're going to get nothing. So we at least have something for the rest of the year that we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. I think you'll get more gameplay, probably more inner details, and character building. They'll probably build up the characters.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 characters with 4 specific abilities.
And you can mix and match certain attributes and stuff. Mr. Bushido says the game has me and I don't even want it to. Right? I mean, that's kind of, I wasn't quite there, but I wasn't looking forward to it at all until I saw the extended gameplay of it, and I was like, okay, I'll definitely try this. But there are some things coming out in the meantime, not necessarily first party, which is really what a lot of people are talking about when they're talking about games. There are some other things like Scorn and Gotham Knights and Callisto Protocol and Modern Warfare 2. There's some stuff to look forward to, starting with Saints Row this month, I think, right? So
At the end of the month.
looking forward to that. I'll definitely be picking all these games up, including A Plague's Tale as well, but that's on Game Pass. Don't forget. There's also, again, Scorn, which the developers have apparently said it's only a AA game, definitely not AAA. According to some people, they're trying to shit on the game because it's not a AAA game, according to the developers, which is just fucking stupid. Like, before it's even out, nobody's even really played it. The game looks interesting. If you're into that kind of stuff, which there are a lot of people that are, then are you thinking about that type of stuff, though, Fonzarelli? Is he gone again? Did a hurricane hit
I
his house?
believe he's gone again.
Oh, no,
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 he's
no.
just-
I'm
no.
muted.
Okay,
Sorry.
he's muted.
I'm sitting here talking and I'm muted, dumbass.
Go ahead.
Anyways, you're talking about the game, people calling it not AAA.
Yeah. Well, there's people trying to use that against the game already, like, Wedwagon. There's people just trying to shit on the game they haven't played because it's an Xbox title. There's plenty of other AA games that aren't AAA games that just came out, like Stray, for example, that they didn't do this to. But, Scorn, it's only a AA game. It's not quite good enough for them, even though they don't even fucking play games, haven't in years. So what is your thoughts on this? Does it really matter? Are you looking at that kind of stuff? Are you looking for the A's?
Well, I am looking for Xbox to get more big AAA games for sure, but at the same time, like,
Are you using
AAAs
it
don't
against
scare
this
me.
game, though? Is that a negative?
No, and double A's don't scare me. Matter of fact, I like a ton of AA games out there. There's no reason to really put down a game like this if you haven't even played it yet. You haven't even tried it. You're gonna just crap on it because you think it's a AA game. I mean, come on, man. The game could be great. It could be bad. Who knows? But give it a chance, right? I mean,
Don't use it to attack the game, right?
Guys like him, all they do is attack Xbox. That guy makes nonsensical posts all the time on Twitter. I don't care to hear what he has to say. I've got him muted. I've been having him muted for so many years now because he just says some of the dumbest things.
Yeah, I just saw that and I thought it was hilarious that the double standard there is really my thing. Like, if you're consistent, that's fine. Sure, maybe you do some weird shit, but the double standard is kind of crazy. I'm actually looking forward to Stray coming to Xbox.
But there's a lot of people out there that are just looking to just crap on Xbox all the time, and it's old. It's very old to me. It's in 2017 I did a bit of it myself because it was like we didn't know where they were headed. The whole Game Pass thing wasn't really fleshed out. We didn't know where their mindset was.
Stop throwing the Wii into that, Fonz.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
We crapped on them pretty much a lot, for not having big games. But now that point is moot. Xbox has no games is a ridiculous statement.
Not right now, it ain't.
Well, for 2022, it's like, first party, it's down.
Well, what do you think would happen if Xbox tried to get us to purchase some NFTs?
I wouldn't like that.
Look, isn't Phil Spencer against NFTs anyway? I mean, he's been very vocal on that.
PushSquare.com wrote an article, immediate backlash after Sony asked players about purchasing NFTs, suggesting they are planning on utilizing these in some of their games. What do you think would have happened if this were Microsoft?
Torches and pitchforks, my friend.
Yes.
Chat, let me know what you think.
Boom's right.
Let me know what you think if that's what you think would have happened with Microsoft. And will they do it? Are they against it? I haven't even really looked into this NFT thing. Are they actually against NFTs or not?
Yeah, Phil's come out and said that he thinks it's a dangerous proposition.
He's like, fuck this. It's just weird.
He's on Twitter. You can find the tweet. But I don't know.
I like that, Tim.
I
kind of know what you're like thinking.
I don't know. It's just stupid. It's I think it's funny how like Square Enix does it and nobody goes crazy. But if like Xbox tried to attempt to do this, there would be World War III. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like they pick and choose who it's okay for.
Now realize you're upsetting Burger Cat or whatever the fuck his name is. We're talking about Sony. I just want to make that clear. The risks are very clear in there. But
I just think there shouldn't be a set of rules for different companies. Honestly, NFTs, from all I've heard, is not a good thing, and it could be it seems the way that companies can exploit things, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in agreement with the community for the most part that they shouldn't be. I don't want them anywhere near Xbox, or any games really.
Yeah.
But if they they're gonna obviously be there. I just hope it just doesn't take over the industry.
But
Yeah.
you're right, Tim. It's always bad. If it's Xbox, it's bad, no matter what. I mean, look, Game Pass was horrible, right? It was such a horrible thing. That service is so terrible. As soon as Sony starts doing it, oh, you know what? I'm signing up. It's better than Game Pass. This is great. So what is it? Is services bad or not?
Yeah.
Or shut the fuck up.
That's that
It's
great
the old-
inconsistent we love, D-Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old double standard, man. My 2 cents in it, and I'm a guy that's kind of lenient on how some of these guys can make their money. This has no business in gaming, period. Like, just take it out. The gamers don't want it. It's so transparent of what it is, just basically gouging your pockets. It's got no business in gaming. I don't care who does it, Sony's, Microsoft, Square Enix, whoever. It's got no business in gaming, and keep it out of gaming. And I think the gamers have spoken on this, and these guys are still trying to push this shit into gaming. We don't want it. That's it.
Yeah. NFTs kind of blur the lines from my understanding, and some lines maybe shouldn't be. I'm not any kind of authority on that, any of that stuff, but Sony
sure you are, dealer. You're an authority on it.
Sony are suggesting that they are looking into messing around with these types of things by asking players about NFTs in their games. Just a survey, but we'll see what happens. Activision Blizzard makes more money from mobile games than PC and consoles combined. Yeah, they certainly do. That's a big deal. Zalker, this is it shows you the massive, just the girth of the market in general. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they made over like 800 million in mobile gaming, like alone, which is more than PC and console combined, which has been a reason why. Like, people can talk shit about Diablo Immortal, but that son of a bitch already made over $100 million. And it's going to be making even more, and that's why they're bringing out Arclight, right? I think it's Warcraft Arclight, another mobile game next month, or the beta's coming out next month. And you talk about Hearthstone and all those other games, like the mobile game and Candy Crush, like made a gajillion dollars basically. So you wonder why Xbox bought them and why Xbox wants to start pushing that streaming and putting it on your phones and stuff like that, because people spend money there. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, the console and everything in PC is profitable, but damn, mobile gaming just freaking kills. For some reason, people just love spending their money there.
It's the market,
and, it's maybe it's just easy to click, right? Like, you have your phone and you're like, well, I'm here every day using this, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, it makes
everyone's
so much
got
money.
a cell phone, like billions of them on the planet, right? I mean, imagine if Xbox and Sony sold 1 billion consoles. Fuck.
Don't talk like that guy from a Diablo Immortal. You have a phone. Everyone has a phone, and people are like, "Get the fuck off this game!" Like,
we also have a pitchfork. Yeah,
I'm just saying, man.
It's a little ridiculous, man. I mean, it's a massive market. That's the point, and that's why Jim Ryan said that console gamers basically aren't enough for us, right? That's why Phil has talked about the size of the market and why ABK is so important to them. It's a big deal. It really is. It kind of puts it in perspective how much money they're actually making. And again, we can't stop on all of this. Some of the stuff I'm going to rattle off. But there are some things that we should talk about because stuff that's happening a little bit. There's some delays happening. Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed. They say, 2K claims that it's to ensure the best quality possible. They want the best experience for the players, and that's good. We can't talk anything negative about that. You always want the game to be as best as possible. Then Arc Raiders comes out. Some of the guys from DICE, right? They say it's an ambitious game.
Time out 1 second. Everybody in chat, I know you're saying that the Warcraft mobile game is canceled. That is a game that has not been shown. The game I'm talking about is Warcraft Arclight. That is coming out next month. It's not the same thing. They canceled that 10-cent game because they had some differences with money, or something happened where they, after 3 years development, Activision or Blizzard canceled it. So it's a completely different game. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's a good thing because I saw that too. But Arc Raiders is that really, really cool game. I was trying to explain this before in a party, but it's a really heavily physics-based, hard to describe, but it looked really cool. It's one of the most next-gen things they really showed at last year's E3. And again, Arc Raiders has been delayed. They said, of course, they're going to use the extra time to expand the experience and allow it to reach its full potential, all that stuff. Didn't you say they're working on a shooter and pushing a shooter out first instead?
Who, me?
Yeah, was that you? Or was that
No. I mean, I don't know.
the DICE team working on this, right? So
No, I don't know.
I thought that somebody told me this today in a party. I can't confirm that, but Arc Raiders and Midnight Suns being delayed. With
Oh, yeah, I saw the Midnight Suns one. I sent that one. Arc Raiders and Midnight Suns. Yeah, I mean, Arc Raiders. Like I thought you. I remember when we were watching that together. It looked freaking insane. So it's like, all right, there's another delay, and then Midnight Suns is the game I'm personally looking forward to because it's the same people that do XCOM. And it's like, all right, and of course, comic book and Marvel, and it's like, yeah, that's my shit. Let's go. And then that got delayed. And I've been talking to like Hargy, been talking to Colt, I've been talking to everybody. I'm like, yeah, October looks pretty good. Midnight Suns and Gotham Knights and Call of Duty, I'll be okay. And then Midnight Suns is like, nah, never mind. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck. So I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. At this point, with these delays, Arc Raiders, Midnight Suns, everything. There's one thing that kept coming into my head with all these delays, though, and that's that Xbox was kind of like the first publisher to kind of delay their games this year with Starfield and Redfall, and they took like 17 punches to the goddamn chin.
Yeah.
And they just got wailed on. And I think once that happened, every developer was like, fuck, let's delay our shit later, because they just pulled back, and now everybody is like delaying everything. Like, I'm sorry, it's just like Dark Tide's been delayed. Everything's just getting pushed back. The only publisher that isn't is the fucking immune PlayStation for some goddamn reason. They're just like, nah, we're bringing it out. Fuck it,
Yeah,
we're
they
bringing it
delayed
out.
their games. So all their games were delayed though this year. I mean, this past 2
Well, from last
2
year, I
years.
get it, but
Yeah.
like they didn't really put like a date on it.
It wasn't quite like
was?
this,
You know what it didn't feel like that? You know why it didn't feel like this for PlayStation? It's because they had games that were delayed the previous year that came out last year, and then those games came out this year. So they didn't really have much of a gap in between games. So that's what it is.
Arc Raiders, I was really looking forward to that game. It's supposed to come out next
It
week.
looked pretty
and
good.
It looked phenomenal. The graphics looked insane. The
Is that
gameplay
Unreal
looked-
Engine 5, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah,
The-
it does.
The
Yeah,
graphics
you
looked
can tell.
insane. The particle effects. The depth of field. It was a real looker, man. And the co-op elements of it, and it was free to freaking play, man. So I was really looking forward to it. I was so disappointed. Like, we would have had it next week.
Damn.
And I think what's really going on in the industry, I think now that we're starting to get past this pandemic, although some might be coming, don't want to say anything bad if you're watching the damn news in the last few days. But I think because we're starting to get over this, I think these developers are seeing that they can get more out of these games, and they're delaying it just to, get the most out of these games, because now they're at kind of full force, right?
Yeah.
So they can see some of the discrepancies or areas where they could just make it a lot better. And I think they're taking that opportunity to make the best game that they can make. And I think it's the best thing to do, because look what happened with Cyberpunk. That was kind of rushed out, was delayed a few times when it should have probably been delayed again.
Yeah.
And
I don't
think-
correlate.
You're getting
the two.
quieter for some reason, D-Batch, as
I
you
don't-
talk.
I'll be
Hey,
honest,
any better
D,
now?
I don't correlate the two, D, because Cyberpunk launched with a full development without like the pandemic killing it. So like that just launched because they sucked. These games are being delayed, like what Phil Spencer said over a year ago. He said the pandemic's going to hit the gaming market in like end 2021, but it ended up being in this year. So I think this isn't because they're like, oh, let's get the full force out of it. Like, no, I just think that people weren't working for a solid year, like comfortably working. And so that's this year. It's just hitting
Fair enough.
everybody.
Yep.
That's just me. Like, that's what I think is going on. And I don't think any game is safe at all this entire year. And I don't think any game is safe at the beginning of next year.
And by the way, like it or not, for better or worse, some of these examples of games that should have been delayed and are coming out and kind of falling off super quick, and they look at those games and say, that could be us. We should probably actually finish the game. And it's not the developer's fault that they're not, they're being pushed out the door by a lot of management and executives, things like that. So it's always best to finish your games, right? Zachary, can you catch these chats real quick? And then I want to jump to Boomstick for his opinion on this.
Yeah. Let me see.
Also, shout out to 1,000 people watching live, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, tell a buddy or two we're live. And of course, let us know your thoughts down below. You can check out the stream now in 1440p. This is Fight Night Champion running at 720p. None of it matters, but I just figured I would let you know. Go ahead, Zucker.
All right, so we got C. Fresparta, 87. Why are you taking my 87? When will the gaming world realize that Jim Ryan is PlayStation's Don Matrick? Damn. Well, we'll see. We got Psychonauts member for 26 months. Shout out to everyone on the panel. Did any of you see a possible leak of Elden Ring coming to Game Pass? Yes,
No.
I did see that leak. And I don't think it's for Game
It's
Pass.
not for Game Pass. That's
I think it's
It's for
cloud.
cloud.
yeah.
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 Kind of like they did with Fortnite.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go to the next one.
So we got Robert Jackson. He says, RDX in the house. The whole panel is fire. Zalker, love your videos. I stay up to date with all of the gaming news watching your videos. Damn right you are. Three times a week. We got Danny Passion Official. To all those, I appreciate it, Robert, though. So we got Danny Passion Official. To all those ponies on the chat, ask Sony to fix their refund system. Last night I bought a DLC by mistake and I can't refund it. A W to the Xbox on refund. I've never had a problem refunding stuff on Xbox.
No,
legit.
he's talking about PlayStation though.
I know, but I'm just saying as Xbox, I never had a problem. I've never refunded anything on PlayStation because
They won't let you anyway.
yeah, we got member. We got Shogun's member for 35 months. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you too, buddy. We got Nano Polymath. RDX showing more games than are releasing in 2022. Damn it! Why you got to be this way, Nano? We got Brisket member for 5 months. Guys, at least we got Peppa Pig. At least we got Callisto Protocol. Wouldn't it be funny if Ragnarok got delayed? Batman is the best movie ever. Do you know something we don't know, Brisket?
George.
I know risk it.
Nah, if God of War, I mean, at this point, no game is safe. Like I said, man, God of War could be deleted. God of War could be delayed. Who knows at this point?
Nope.
Agreed. It's a. I can't believe Ark delayed 2 days before the game or 2 weeks. Pretty crazy.
Not even a week.
I'm eyeing Saints Row now. I'm like, where you going, bitch? Where you going?
You knew when you didn't see any trailers for that, they were way behind.
Mm.
But hopefully that's a good game. It's been a very tough year. It started off, obviously with Starfield and Redfall, which was pretty big whammy. But you're just seeing now you've seen since then about 7 delays, probably more. And
more. I mean, Nvidia talked about gaming revenue being down so bad, and it's like, yeah, well, you're not selling as much stuff because there's no games, there's no hype.
The third parties are gone. Boom, did you give us your opinion on a lot of these delays?
Well, no, actually not as of yet. But you know what? Marvel's Midnight Suns is something I was looking forward to, very much like Zorker. I'm a huge MCU stan. Love the not so much this Midnight Suns. I'm more of like a comic Midnight Suns fan. But look, the delay bug is far from over, folks. I hate to say this, but you know what? There's still 4 months left of the year, and unfortunately, I have a strong suspicion if you haven't seen like full-on trailers for games, there's a good chance it's going to get delayed. No one wants to release a bad, broken game. Look, like a lot of people in the community know, my wife and I contracted a COVID a couple of weeks ago, and we got so sick that I didn't want to pick up a controller to play a game, let alone if I'm a developer, spend 10 hours behind a computer, whether that be home or in the office. I did not have the will to even press the A button to start a game. I could not imagine asking these developers to make a game and make it right, with their mindset in there, because COVID fog is something that's a real thing. Folks, people are, developers are people, right? They do matter, and if a game gets delayed because of their health concerns, that's, tough titty. What can I tell you?
Tough titty? Is that what you just said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, man. Find one of them shits, go to the doctor.
Even games that have shown gameplay, they might get delayed. Look at Dark Tide. They had a 20-minute showing from what's his face? Forgot the guy's name. Some YouTuber did it. Skill Up. So Skill Up did it, and it was like 20 minutes of gameplay. He talked about it in depth. The developers let him do it, right? They wanted him to do it, and even then, it's like delayed. It's like shit. It's like even games that are showing gameplay. So Gotham, not everything. The only thing I think that is really coming out is probably Call of Duty, because Activision. Well, again, that's something. What games do you think have a possibility of being delayed? Because we were pretty confident the Dark Tide was hitting this year. Like,
What's the next? Gotham Knights or what? The Gotham? Yeah, Gotham
You would
Knights.
hope.
I
I mean,
think
you
I
don't
think
want to release
I think a
bad
Plague's
game.
Tale. I think a Plague's Tale.
Really?
Oh,
I think
wow.
yeah, dude.
You hear
they're-
this
they're
shit,
not,
chat?
They're not a big, freaking developer like with a lot of people. Like,
The
you
only
never
ones
know what
releasing
can
shit are
happen.
the small ones.
Yeah, so they're big developer. I mean, they're not a big, huge developer, but they're making a big AAA game, and they've added a lot of different mechanics. So I don't know, like maybe. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I'm looking at them, and then I'm looking at High on Life because High on Life, while it looked awesome, the frames in that trailer were not that great. So I think that they're probably going to get delayed too. And then outside of that, the Harry Potter game.
Well, shout out to Mr. Hargeet Chaney. He's dropping 2,200 Halo credits in the chat. By the way, if you haven't played Halo in like a year, don't go back and expect to compete with anybody. Holy shit. I went in there and got my ass kicked because I had been so used to Call of Duty. I got to drop a shield, drop shield melee. You got to get back into the whole swing thing. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it when the co-op hits. That'll get me back in, speed with the gameplay, and then I'll jump more into the multiplayer. But I find myself wanting that co-op more and more, Fonz. Like that's going to make the game a lot more fun.
For which game?
He's like, I don't like it.
For which game?
Co-op in Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Good for the people that want to play it in co-op. But yeah, that's great. For me, a game like that, I've never played Halos in co-op because I'm Master Chief. I've always felt that kind of breaks.
But you have 4 twin brothers. You just didn't know it.
Yeah, just didn't know it, right? Yeah. You got 4 Master Chiefs at the same time.
Everyone that's tried the co-op early has said this is a blast. So I don't know.
I'm sure it could be like even if I jumped on with you, it would be fun just to run around and shoot shit. But
I mean, I just don't understand when they're going to release it.
I like
I'm
single player.
I'm gonna be busy playing all these delayed games. Like fuck them.
Yeah, and two, they don't even really remember saying they're going to add ray tracing into their game and stuff. It seems like because they have a huge content problem and stuff like that, which we've already covered. Won't cover it again, but I am looking forward to the co-op. That's kind of the bright point there. I'm looking forward to getting that. And as far as some of these delays, man, I'm really hoping that Callisto Protocol isn't one of those games because it barely managed to sneak in this year. It's one of the best, when I say best looking, I'm not just saying graphically. I mean, like, it's one of the best looking games that I've seen that are coming out this year in terms of overall quality and just the way that they're executing on it. The Dead Space devs, I'm looking forward to that one a lot. But I don't know.
Me
guys.
too. And somebody told me, look, people were saying the Callisto Protocol is a $70 game, but somebody said that on Xbox you could pre-order and it's only $60. So what's up with that?
Well, yeah, we'll have to check that out in the store actually.
Yeah, somebody told me they looked it up on the store during my show and they said no, it's showing 60.
Shout out to Mav. He says Callisto Protocol getting delayed. Why you got to speak that evil?
Yeah. Don't. Gotham Knights needs to be delayed. They need to fix the dialogue there and take out that. Nobody will ever mow you again.
Callisto Protocol and the Xbox Series X right now. I'm looking at it $70.
Oh, really? Then
Fine.
what's that guy talking about? Maybe Xbox One. Maybe he was looking at Xbox One or something. I don't know.
I don't think.
Maybe he was still stuck on one.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to end up finding out, though. They're saying that Gamescom, by the way, they're saying that there's going to be a 2-hour live show, 130 games on stage. And they're also saying new game updates they're going to be there. They're going to announce more stuff. So 130 games, though, in 2 hours. Remember, I don't know. They're not who is this, Keeley, right? So they're not the best to have in these shows. Sometimes, what was the last one? 3 hours? Or 4 hours? What was it? 3 or 4?
7.
Way too long. And most of that was just ads. Yeah, so, again, 130 games in 2 hours.
$60 on PC. There you go.
That could be what you guys
I wonder
referred
why,
to.
right? I wonder why. PC guys don't pay $70 for games, people.
It's we need that as a quote from Brad Warfight. Shout out to you, Brad. But yeah, 2-hour show, 130 games on stage. I'm hoping they show off something cool at Gamescom. Boom. Are you holding hopes here that they're going to show off some kind of huge thing at Gamescom? And what are you thinking they might be?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, Xbox has really taken it on the chin this year. And again, they're not the only publisher to have massive delays, but this is a tough year. If you're a diehard Xbox fan and you were waiting for their big AAA bombs. Unfortunately, that's not the case. In regards to Gamescom, it's funny, dealer, because Gamescom is a bit of a wild card. I don't actually know what they could possibly show that's close, right? Because they already showed us what the next 12 months look like. What surprises could they be? I would love to say maybe we get a Hellblade, but I think they're going to save that for the Keighleys. I think we get a third, gameplay, an action gameplay segment at the Game Awards. In regards to Xbox showing something, man, I don't. You know what? Dude. I'm a little bit stumped, and maybe that's because I've been a little disappointed with them, to be honest. It's like I said, this year has been tough, and I don't know what they could possibly show. We did get a report that, according to Jess Corden of Windows Central, good friend of the community, he says that Perfect Dark is coming along really well. He talked about that on the Xbox 2 with Randall Thor, so maybe they can show some gameplay from that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I would go ahead.
Go.
I just wouldn't get your hopes too high. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna have really a big presence here. I think you might get possibly they might announce Family Plan. But as far as games, like you said, there's been a ton of delays. So I can't see anything being here, and being that they're showing the Redfall at Quake Fest, that really, to me, shows that they're not gonna have much at Gamescom. It's just I can't see them doing it. If they're gonna do something, they're gonna probably either do their own show or something to that effect, like they used to.
do you think there's too many shows, Tim Dog? They're kind of spreading everything thin as of right now.
Well, yeah, I think that honestly, I think that they've been in a real kind of just this whole year, kind of waiting pattern. The Activision deal is looming over their head, and I do think they'll have a deal. They'll have an event for Activision if it gets passed.
No, hopefully we will see.
I hope we there's a ton of games that they still have to show that they have promised us. So the landscape, it's the time is to come. We've talked about this so many times, like you said,
Mhm.
and we just can't. We just have to wait, and it sucks, and it really does suck. But the only thing you can do is wait.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think there's the problem that the industry's having right now is that I don't care what they show us because, like you said, they have to deliver the games that they've already announced. And I think all the delays and everything have made every event, especially like Gamescom, kind of like meh. Like I'm looking forward to Redfall because I want to see more of it. But at the end of the day, it's like, what else can you show us that we haven't seen before? There's not going to be any surprises because you need to release the 75 games we've talked about for the last year and a half, 2 years. So until, next year, like, I just don't think anything big. Maybe Jeff Keighley's show has some stuff, right? Because he usually tends to have like a lot of world premieres, but he had a lot of world premieres last year or in December, like the Warhammer game and all this stuff. Like, it's like, geez. It's like, all right, well,
and a lot of them are going to be smaller stuff as well. So if you're looking for that kind of to actually utilize your $500 box on, right, you're probably not going to see a lot of that there. I do got to give a shout out to Boba Fett, Jedi Knight Peter, J-Mo, shout out to you, Fraud, as well as many others in the chat. KY Bob, we got Risk It, we got Capono, we got Alexander NT, shout out to you, buddy, as well as Ham Solo, shout out to you, man. We've got a lot of people watching live, guys. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy to we're live. Of course, we're talking about the latest and greatest. We got a few chats. Zalker, you want to grab these and we can move forward onto a different topic?
Yeah, Hargeet, he gave 2,200 Halo credits. You've already said that.
Ooh.
And then we got Dark CMF member for 27 months. Hit the like button. Thank you, Dark. We got Hargeet, Edge of Eternity code dropping. Hargeet's just dropping codes right now.
Damn.
We got Risk It. End of the day, if a game's delayed, it's a good thing. 2022 might have been bad for devs, but 2023 is going to be real hard to place a game and have it land.
Yep. You got to drop them sometime, right?
Yeah, we got Hargeet dropping a Game Pass Ultimate 3-month code, and then he's also dropping an AC Odyssey Ultimate code. Whoever gets that, enjoy Odyssey.
That's the best Assassin's Creed, by the way, chat.
Best Assassin's Creed ever. No competition. And if anybody says otherwise, they're frauds.
Wow. Hargeet saying, have I not given you everything?
Hargeet is amazing.
And
And
Malacca.
you know what else is amazing? There's
Somebody's asking me if I remember the Dawn of War RTS games. Yes, I just beat Dawn of War 1 about 4 months ago, and I'm on 2. Going to start 2, and I have 3 also. Dawn of War is one of the best. I love those RTSs.
Yeah, RTS games. They need more of them on Xbox. Hopefully, Xbox is listening to us. Maybe during Age of Empires, the console, that'd be great. There's a new Elite controller that is potentially on its way. Jess Corden is suggesting so. He said this is a new white edition Xbox Elite controller Series 2. More close. Yeah, I mean, so is this the same exact Elite controller in terms of its build? Or is it just a color change? So it's just a color change.
Wow.
When is the Elite 3 coming? Because I missed the share button already on the Elite that I have.
Yeah, I say kind of same. I don't know the point of a white controller. Like I don't want a white controller. It just gets filthy, man. Like it's impossible to
Wash your hands, D-Bat.
How many? Like, come on. Like over time, it just trust me. You picking your armpit and you wipe the controller.
What the fuck?
You're eating.
D-Bat, stop it. Nightmare fuel.
Scabs, toenails.
You look at someone's butt crack, you stick your tongue on the controller. Look, they say it's going to be a white Xbox Elite Series 2 controller to match the Series S or some shit. So it's just a color, though. So until
D-Batch is that friend you never swap controllers with. Like an N64
That's right.
days.
He already sent you a box of them.
days.
You don't
I don't
want
want
to
any
know
of
how
them.
I mark my controllers. You don't want
It's
to
going
know.
to get sent back for
God.
toxic waste.
We do want to know when
Hey,
an Elite
I
Controller
kinda-
3 is coming out, though. That's what we do want to know because the Elite 2 is great, but it does need the share feature. It needs the lower latency because I can feel even that little bit on the Elite 2. And it also needs build quality improvements because those things still do start to kind of fall apart. There's still an issue there. So they're struggling with that. We need an Elite 3.
I thought with the version 2, it's a lot more durable than the first one. I kind of dipped out for a second. Did you guys talk about the Xbox Series S, the extra memory freed up?
Not yet.
Okay, my bad.
Figured I would save that for last. But apparently you want to talk about it, D-Bash. We'll get to it. But, tell us how you mark your controllers. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Just kidding. Again, Fonzarelli, you ever thought about getting an Elite 3 or 2, rather? All right, Fonz is not here again. So his internet probably
Let me
exploded.
tell you, the Elite controller.
Why am I
He muted himself.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, and you kept talking over me, and I'm like, why is he talking over me? Idiot. I am.
All right,
Anyways,
Fonz.
I've never owned an Elite controller, man. I've never touched one. I don't know how good they feel.
they're
How
good.
good they work. I know the original controllers. That's it. Like the basic bare bones. This is what's in the box controllers. That's the stuff I use. Again, cheap bastard here, but yeah. So I wouldn't know, man. It's not for me, I guess.
The Elite controller is so good that I can actually use it when I'm playing on PC in some first-person shooters. And of course, I'm still going to get mashed at times by guys with mouse and keyboard. But because I can adjust the sensitivity and all the, extra stuff you can add on, it's quite good on PC. It's just a great controller. It's so versatile. It's a little bit more expensive, yes, but I think it's worth every dime. I think the battery lasts long. I like how you can charge it in the case.
Good.
It's just a really good controller.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
the
just waiting
best
for them to get
controller.
like dual sense style feels in the dual sense, like they do in the PlayStation 5 controllers. That's what I'm waiting for, so I get a 2-hour battery life.
That's an
what I
exclusive, sir. That's an
No,
exclusive.
I can't wait to turn those functions off.
Hey, they do suggest that could be a thing in the newer Elite controller if they ever
I've heard
release one. So I mean,
I would turn them off. I don't use that stuff. I think it's
well,
silly.
you're still paying for those extra rumble motors, so get used to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Fight Night Champion on the 360 back compat. Again, streams available in 1440p. Now that matters for this particular game, and of course the overlay is done by Sean Labrie. Shout out to everybody watching. Let a friend know. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Elite Series 2 white. Let us know, chat. Do you care? It's a color optional color, right? I really just don't really care that much about this, but it is something that has recently leaked, according to Jez Courtney, saying it's probably very likely real, which is interesting. Microsoft
Probably
Azure.
a Gamescom announcement.
Oh yeah. Well,
Exclusive.
God, Gamescom. I'm hoping it's going to be better than this.
Right.
I just
Here's
don't
a
know else to get on.
controller. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah.
World premiere.
But
and then
again,
it
what have
shows
they
the
ever really shown
controller.
there, right? So,
Yeah.
there is something else going on with Microsoft Azure. They are basically they're selected as cloud partner for Unity to power real-time 3D experiences. These Unity and Azure experiences that we working together to create real-time 3D experiences, both in and out of game. So,
Yes.
again, the cloud being put to work with graphics technologies here. D, what do you think about this stuff?
I've actually seen the little demo that they use with the Unity engine and like cloud computing, and it is quite impressive. Um, Microsoft obviously is at the helm of this, so I think it's a great partnership. But have you seen the demo when I don't know, the lady's like playing chess or some type of crap, and
No.
they're using
playing
cloud for part
chess?
of it, but it was quite impressive rendering. So
Hmm.
it's interesting to see, and this is what we've always dreamed the cloud to be, but unfortunately, Crackdown happened, and it just crushed anything associated with the cloud.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Microsoft, still kept the vision at hand, and I think we're gonna see it over time. I think we're definitely gonna see games that are obviously gonna use some local hardware for latency issues, whatever, and they're gonna have parts or elements rendered in the cloud. And I think it's very exciting, and I'm really curious to see this in action, and I'm happy for this partnership.
The
to be honest.
Crackdown 3 demo was amazing the first time we saw it. This Cloud Gen demo of these big buildings falling. It was all real. It was actually working. I've shown this stuff off of the channel. What a lot of people forget to cover when they show how it started, how it ended, right? And they showed the before and after. That's not the same. That's not even the same team. That team was sold off in the middle of building out that multiplayer for Crackdown.
Epic Games, I think, picked them up.
And it's just it's ridiculous because people act like, oh, they just couldn't pull it off. Microsoft could have taken other actions behind the scenes, yes, but ultimately there's a lot of potential there. Hopefully they do something awesome with it. By the way, Fonzarelli Pachter says that an Activision deal will help Game Pass hit 100 million users, and of course he's under fire for this. Where a lot of people not understanding that he's talking about, into the future, this will help them obtain that $100 million user. Fuck me, Fonz, you know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I can't talk today.
100 million subscriber base, right?
Yes.
Yeah, eventually, I guess. But man,
He doesn't
it'll
say
take
it's
some
going to
time.
get 100 million. He says it's going to get 30 to 100 million.
Yeah, but you know
That's
how
what
it
he
is.
said.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
He's saying that
30
it could go as high as 100 million. There's a lot of people trying
course
to.
it could.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long that would actually take. Probably quite some time. But look, I mean, he's not off base by saying something like that. It's not that far of a reach, people. He's just saying that it's a good thing, basically, that he could see a lot of people out there, a lot of casuals and everything buying into Game Pass, and we all see that's starting to happen anyway now.
Yep.
We don't know the exact numbers right now, but I'm willing to bet that it's at least at 35 million right now. I'm
35
willing to bet
million.
that.
35 million.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
50.
I think it's probably close to 35 million myself.
Damn.
I really do.
You should
I think
tell
they're
them
doing
that.
very well. I think they're doing very well.
Yeah, they're modest with their numbers. I think it's pretty.
Yeah, well,
high,
I mean,
too.
in the financials from last week, the only thing that saw growth was their services.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they didn't release any games. Like that's
Yeah,
of course. Like
it's all
that's what's
relative,
gonna
right?
fucking happen. Yeah, that's like
I-
everybody's down, but I don't think it's 35. I think that they
It's close. I
understand
bet
that
it's
they
close.
reached. I think they understand that they reached a certain point where it's like you are going to have to leverage mobile and everything. And it's not. I don't think he's talking 100 million just console and PC. I think he's thinking that they'll bring in Candy Crush. They'll bring in all these mobile games that Warcraft or Blizzard are making, and Activision has Call of Duty, and throw those things into Game Pass. Yeah, they're free to play, but you launch the Game Pass app to play them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's
it's funny,
talking about.
Zarkar, I've been saying this since last year. I think that at some point there's going to be a Game Pass for mobile. It's going to be $4.99, and it's going to give you all of the perks for something like a Candy Crush, and that's where you're going to see the numbers explode.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you don't know. Like that could be something, but I think that'll cancel out a lot of the money they make for mobile. Because mobile isn't like, to me, mobile doesn't fit that thing of putting it into $4.99. Mobile is, people spending, like $300, $400 on shit. Like that's how they do it. Those cows, right? Or the whales.
Yeah,
whatever
the
fuck they call
whales.
them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well,
I
Actually,
mean, the last quarter, the financial that came out for Activision, 51% of the profits came at $831 million came of mobile.
Yep.
And 600 of
Crazy.
that came from just Candy Crush alone. It's insane.
crazy.
Hmm.
I personally think once this deal goes through, you know, 100 million is a high number, but I do think we're going to see a substantial uptick in people subscribing to Game Pass. And once again, like a broken record, once all of these studios are pumping out games, it's just going to be the de facto place to play games. It's going to be undeniable. The price is you just can't beat the value of Game Pass. And like Zocker mentioned earlier, where you can play it like pretty much anywhere, your mobile device, you know, PC, the Xbox consoles. Once Activision goes through and people know you can get Call of Duty every year included with your subscription, that's going to be a huge tool. I would almost say a Game Pass killer app.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like that's controversial at all. By the way, shout out to Splendiferous in the chat as well. Many of you guys in the chat. D, what you just said is right on the money, because that's the appeal of Game Pass, as we all know, as we all covered. It's kind of a big deal. A lot of people have subscribed to the service. Some have unsubscribed, but ultimately they're prepared for that kind of stuff. I don't think they're too worried about it. But going forward, you know. Oh, by the way, Jacob in the chat, he wants us to talk about the quick resume load time boost. All right, we just did.
There you go. Done.
It's
I mean,
a good.
No, it's cool, because I thought, okay, hopefully it's just a little bit faster, but you know, that's pretty much what there is to it. Now, when it comes to, you know, Xbox bringing games that are not in Game Pass to their basically what is XCloud service, right? That's a little bit different. Elden Ring is going to be able to be streamed on their cloud network, and it's not in Game Pass, so don't get it confused. It's not going to Game Pass, at least not as of right now. But you will be able to stream it kind of like you can with Fortnite. That's something that they've done, and they said that will not be the last of its kind to do so. Elden Ring looks like it's next up, Zucker.
Yeah, it does, and I think this is kind of cool. That's the one thing I didn't like about XCloud was that some games I owned I wanted to play, and I was like, man, I only can play the games that are in, you know, Game Pass or whatever. So like, yeah, I would play them when I was out, but I just think it's so much better if you could just play the games you own, like Elden Ring on the go. Like, fuck yeah, sign me up. So that's the next iteration is, you know, getting those games that you own on the go with you, and that's what I want to see. They kind of have it with console streaming, right? Like you could play all the games installed on your console,
Yeah,
and stream to your console and kind of use your console as a server. But if you connect it to XCloud and you can play the games that you own there, I'm always down for that. And I'm kind of a little shocked that like a publisher or developer would be cool with it, because I know like that's been kind of the thing. People are like, oh, they were worried about it, but it seems like they're not worried about it. And a lot of developers or publishers are looking at it as a plus if people can just play their game wherever, whenever, right?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of the thing. Like the market's so big that we just talked about mobile earlier. Well, now you've got an Xbox that can basically be streamed to any cell phone. That's why publishers and developers are seeing the appeal of this. There's no extra work. The Xbox team's already done all the work. Just let us stream your game. That's somebody else who might buy that game or invest in something you're selling, right? So this is kind of cool, I guess. I would rather than make a big Game Pass deal, or not that they're investing that kind of money or anything, but I would be more excited if it also came to Game Pass, you know, just for people who haven't played it, I guess. But yeah,
I'll have to
streaming.
play Elden Ring at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. More than you would think, actually. But yeah, if you haven't tried Elden Ring, let us know. Let us know if you haven't tried it. Something else that I found pretty interesting was EA. They had a little change of heart. EA says single-player games are really important it's a really important part of the portfolio, and they are very invested in single-player games now. This is something that is nice to hear from EA, man, but how many times you guys fucked around on us? Like, how many times we gonna take it and just fall for it? I don't know.
I
don't
think
trust
they
shit.
remembered. I think they remembered. They said, "Oh, Jedi's coming out. We better change our stance."
I think they're thinking, man, Jedi sold really well, and look at Battlefield. Fuck. I think, and then not to mention, like, I don't know, man, like, EA has some of, like, you know, Respawn brought out a single player game that's amazing. They have BioWare, who used to bring out like these epic RPGs, man, and it's like then they went with Anthem and have basically been in a casket ever since. And it's just like we're just sitting here going like, come on, like where's those single player games? Like, you know, like Dead Space is an EA game. Like they make some epic ass single player games. Like I don't care what anybody says. You could talk shit about EA all you want, but their games, when they would hit, man, they would fucking hit.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I want to see them go back to. And even Apex Legends, like it's one of my favorite games. It's like I have over 1,000 hours in that fucking game. It's like, come on. It's like, what do you like?
I think Mr.
EA needs to get
Bushido
their
nailed
shit
it.
out
He
of
says EA says that after Fallen Order's success, and that's exactly right. I think they are. They remember. Oh, we have Jedi Fallen Survivor or whatever it's called, right? It's coming out, right? So maybe they'll show some of that off soon. But I love Fallen Order. I thought it was great. Hopefully the sequel is just as good or better. But I think Bushido's got a point. You know, hey, they know that they made, well, how much did it sell? Over 10 million, right? They sold a good amount. Made them a decent amount of money. Respawn is their most successful studio because they've run everyone out of all their other studios. I mean, you can still go on for days about how they made a Dead Space team make a Battlefield game and then shut them down when it didn't do well. That's just preposterous logic to me. So now you got the Dead Space guys coming out with Callisto Protocol this time later, and it arguably looks better than the Dead Space remake that they're coming out with from EA, right? So I'm getting both of them, but it's just crazy how some executives can't figure this out.
They also brought out It Takes Two, right? Which I guess is a co-op game, but it's a single player game.
Well, they published it, yes.
Yeah, and then like you just look at the games they've brought out. Like I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for them to fit. I think the bad thing that's giving them a bad rap EA wise is obviously like the sports games like Madden. It just feels like it's the same shit all over again every time you buy it. And then you look at just the Battlefield. Like I think Battlefield and then how they mistreated BioWare really screwed them over. So it's like they have a lot of, I don't know, like making fans feel better about like investing in their games, because Battlefield 2042 is basically like a wash. They're just like don't get me wrong, they've had some patches come out that really helped the game. Like recently I've played it, and yeah, it's like, okay, this shit should have been here at launch. Yeah, it's better, but it should have been here at launch, and that's the problem with EA. And so let's hope they hit the landing with Jedi Fallen Order, and let's hope they bring BioWare back to start going on their word about what these single player games are and how valuable they are.
Yeah, because they're working on Dragon Age 2, right, Fonz?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The thing about that is when this was said during their Q1 earnings call, their CFO of the company, right after the CEO said how really, really important these single player games are, the CFO, he said something, and I don't think I have the quote available, but anyway, it was to the effect that he said, keep in mind that, 70% of their business, most of their business is through live service games, and that they will be investing heavily into those, continuing to invest heavily into those games going forward. So it's like, on one hand, you have the CEO saying, yeah, single player games are important. And then you have the CFO saying, but remember, we are all about the, live service games, and that's the primary resource of our income and our revenue. So we need to push harder there and continue to push hard there. So it's like, he kind of just follows it up with, just kind of contradicting that statement a bit. And I don't know really where they're at there with single player games. I at this point, it's like one of those things. You look at Survivor, that looks good. It's coming along well. They've got the Dead Space remake, but what else are they really, really going to push hard into?
That's a good question.
To see them, because I mean, look, Zucker was 100% right with BioWare. They have BioWare sitting there, and of course they made Andromeda, and they're working. Yeah, I know, but I'm just hoping that they really push hard with what that company was about many years ago, and with Andromeda, yes, they got the combat and stuff right, but the narrative just wasn't there, and I think they need to really push hard in that area when it comes to BioWare games.
Well, it's at 71. So. It's 71%, and of course they have Apex Legends, one of the biggest games out, right? Like they have. Like a lot of people, and they made I think live service net bookings grew 17% year over year, nearly $5.4 billion, which made up 71% of their total business. And then full game sales were 34% to basically 2.1 billion. And he said there's got to be a balance, and he understand that's how it works. Yeah. And that's the thing. $4.6 billion is the equivalent to he said 130 million copies of a console game sold.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's that. So like they have a free to play game that's selling 130 plus million units. Like that's what it's the equivalent of. That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to give you a comparison. And I get it, but you know, and they have those live service games, and I think he's talking about investing into like Apex Legends and
That's a
investing
massive
into those
market
games.
that they need to
Not
look.
just
The
into
blueprint is there, right? Battlefield.
Yeah, of
Fucking do
course.
the same shit you did in 3 and 4. You can't even,
Yes.
like, again, not even a real Battlefield game in the entire generation, in my opinion. They've already done it. Like, do it again. It's been long enough. I don't give a fuck at this point. Give me Battlefield 4 upgraded, X enhanced, just anything at this point. It's stupid. Like, when you can't figure out how to release things that are quality or finished, rather, that's their big problem. And you've done this over the last 20 years. I don't understand what the problem is. There's also a big group of us who really enjoy things like Jedi Fallen Order, and that builds a lot of consumer like goodwill. Like there's a brand out there that's releasing good things. They're not releasing good things, and right now EA have Battlefield, which people remember instantly. Then they remember, hang on, okay, Fallen Order was pretty
but
damn good.
Look what they did with Battlefield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
look what they did with Battlefield. I mean, but you're right. What else besides Fallen Order do they really have right now that is worth a damn in the single
We're
player
still waiting
genre?
for Titanfall 3, which is
Well,
one-
Respawn, yeah, Respawn is that bright spot there, right? Respawn is just fantastic, and you know, again, that's their bright spot. What else do they have? I mean, as far as single
I would
player
just say
games go.
single player games. It Takes Two, the only other one I could think of that kind of was a really well loved and people liked it. Jedi Fallen Order and It Takes Two. That's about it. And BioWare,
it's
I think
crazy.
BioWare doing the Anthem thing really pushed that single player behind, right? Like that's
Yeah.
why they're waiting
Mhm.
now for Dragon Age, and we'll see what BioWare can do with Dragon Age. I know it was announced. That was announced a while ago, so I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I loved every single Dragon Age game. So, I mean, Dragon Age Inquisition is one of my favorite RPGs. And I remember when it launched, it was freaking
It was
amazing.
great.
It was such a good game, so massive. And
Oh, it's
yeah,
hard
it's
to
like
go back to
that.
though, for sure.
I went back to it like 8 months ago, and I played
And-
like 20, 30 hours of it.
Yeah, the problem with it though, going back to it though, it's like you have to spend so much time to get powerful in that game. I remember that, like the grind was real, but yeah, it was a great game. I remember playing through that.
I was
just
an
loving it.
enhancement knight. The knight with the fucking blade. Oh, it's killing shit. It's great.
Yeah,
Great games.
Boba says he agrees on Battlefield. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that they wish they could go and play Battlefield every single night, just like back in the day. But unfortunately, you just can't. Hopefully, we get some more information on the next Star Wars game. Also, Boomstick, they had a change of heart. I think we can all agree. Maybe they're gonna. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll change that. I think we can all hope that they're gonna do what's right and give developers more time, unlike what they did with Battlefield, right?
Oh, I would hope so. And I mean, remember that we're still waiting for the next Mass Effect, which is supposedly
Yeah.
being made at the same time as Dragon Age. Look, they don't have a lot of bright spots. And Respawn is the only development house that they have been able to depend on. Because think about it. Again, you look back to Titanfall 2. Yes, they were knuckleheads, and they put it between Call of Duty and their own Battlefield, so it got its lunch eaten. It was just terrible. But you cannot deny how amazing that single-player campaign was, and the multiplayer was just legendary. And then what happened after that? We got Jedi Fallen Order. Look, Vince Zampella has a lot on his plate. Like, right, not only is he running Respawn, but they gave him now he's in charge of Battlefield. I don't know what he can bring to the table, but please use his knowledge to bring a single player Battlefield back, something similar to what you did with Titanfall, because they made an incredible single player campaign. I'd love to see like Bad Company come back. That's like one of my favorite Battlefields, Bad Company 1 and 2, and we're still waiting for 3. It's amazing how that hasn't happened yet.
Preach.
But I don't understand it. It's the most
Love Bad
beloved
Company.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Everyone has been asking for
Yeah.
it. Why this 2042 came out the way it did, no one will ever know. But I hope that they do return to their single player roots.
Look, the developers
boom.
asked for another 6 months, but honestly, they needed more than that.
So,
Devil's
but what was the
advocate. I
last?
don't.
But what was the last great Battlefield multiplayer though? Was it 4?
4 was
Yeah,
the last
4.
one. Yeah.
And even that had
4
problems
was the
for a
last
year.
one that was really good. And yeah, and it had problem for the first year. Yeah, it had a lot of problems.
I'm gonna say that I know people are gonna hate me, but I don't give a flying fuck about the single player. Make it the best multiplayer you can. Battlefield has their roots are multiplayer.
I don't think we're talking about single player really with Battlefield as much.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I know we're Bad Company. I like the campaign, but for me, the Bad Company multiplayer was what stood out. Like the destructible environment was insane.
Yes,
That's what I want.
Well,
Like,
guess
I
what?
want
They can
this- I
afford
want
it
the
and to
thing.
give you both, really. I mean, there's no need to even say, I mean, you should ask for both. Who cares? Like, they can make great games, just like Microsoft have done with Gears and other games, like great multiplayer, great single player. Like, you can do both, and others have proven it with much less resource. So, Battlefield, we just want an online Battlefield game that's like boots on the ground, run up to the helicopters and tanks, get in them. I don't give a fuck if anyone's camping them. I'll just blow them up. Just bring the shit back how it was. I don't want to spawn into a jet in the fucking air. I want to take off from the runway. Like classic shit. Bring it back. 4-person squad. Boom, heck, boom, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, someone had asked when was the 13 is when Battlefield 4 released. We're now going to 2023. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is.
Decade with bad
Somebody in
Battlefield.
the chat
Come
said
on.
that Battlefield 1 was the last great one. No, you're tripping, dude.
No, that was terrible.
Yeah, Bad Company 2 was where it all really kicked off for me, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're a Battlefield fan or more into Call of Duty. Unfortunately, and this is really the end result of EA's incompetence, because they've refused to release a proper Battlefield game, at least in my opinion, what I think of when I think Battlefield, I've started playing Call of Duty. Like I've never used to play Call of Duty. I've started playing Call of Duty now because I don't have a fucking choice. And guess what? I'm starting to enjoy it. The gunplay in even Vanguard, like, again, gunplay is flawless in Call of Duty. It's fantastic.
I think it comes down to EA just being that greedy, publisher, and they probably went into it telling these the developers that, hey, create Battlefield, your next Battlefield, but make sure you think microtransactions first. And I really think they build games around that.
I've never seen such a decline. Like Battlefield, like us hardcore would play Battlefield, and like although Call of Duty was the more popular title, Battlefield was really where it was at for like gameplay and all the destruction. And then I can't even put it into words what this Battlefield is. It's just garbage. But I will say I do have a little bit of faith, not on Battlefield, but on EA as a whole. Just the fact that they haven't shown a lot of games just kind of tells me that perhaps they're working on a lot of new titles and some new franchises, and that hopefully in the upcoming 6 to 8 months they'll start to show us some of the stuff that is coming in the pipeline, because EA is a huge company, and in the history of EA I've never seen things so bleak for the company, where they're just not at the forefront of everything, especially technology. Like EA was like leading in graphics and technology and features in their games, and I don't know what to even describe them right now. It's just a bad period for the company, man.
Hang on. Shout out to Cooper. I think it might be you, buddy. I don't know. Playing on smoking nothing. Battlefield 2042 is inarguably not a great game, even now. Even with this little content that it has, is all the issues that it had, and it still has some, not nearly as many. It's just not a Battlefield game to me, and that's why I said what I think of when I think Battlefield 3, 4, those types of experiences. Bad Company 2. I couldn't enjoy and think of going and really jumping in 2042 as the same thing. It's just not, man.
Dealer, just to give you a heads up, Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out here I got it in front of me, March 2nd of 2010. And that's the last time you felt it was a good Battlefield.
That's when it really kicked off for me. But all the way up to 4, even though EA rushed that out too and it had problems for a year. 4 was the last great one to me, even though Battlefield 1 wasn't received badly or some of that. I'm not talking about Metascore. I'm just saying that gameplay loop, the systems, how they worked, the way you got in tanks, jets, all that stuff. Battlefield 3, 4, Bad Company 2, those are the prime for me personally.
Yeah, facts.
But D-Batch, I'm going to go ahead and throw this to you. I've covered this in my last video. They are actually boosting the Xbox Series S consoles with hundreds more megabytes of additional RAM, which can make the difference anytime there's a bottleneck. Right now, there are some developers that are struggling with 10 gigs or 9 gigs of RAM, or what was it, 8, right, per games or something like that. So there's some developers struggling. But then I look over and I see Metro Exodus running on the Series S, 60 FPS, full global illumination, ray tracing, everything. The game looks phenomenal, right? It's being reconstructed. it looks phenomenal. They're not struggling on that thing. There's a lot of other games that are basically in the same spot. But, there's some other games out there they're struggling with RAM, apparently. At least until velocity architecture is being used, this is a measure to kind of help some of those guys that are not as good at optimizing, I guess.
Yeah, super facts. Every developer, they're different. Some are really good at what they do. Some struggle with optimization. Some struggle with engines. So it does depend on the developer. That's why we're seeing some developers get the most out of it. Now, I don't think any bottleneck is a good bottleneck. So just the fact that they're freeing up some more memory. To be honest with you, the first thing that jumped to my mind when I heard this was, oh, great. We're going to see more titles on the Series S with ray tracing. Or maybe we're going to see some of these old games that should have had ray tracing get ray tracing patched in. Because I think the reason why some of these games are not getting ray tracing, not like it's a lot, but there's some titles that don't get the ray tracing treatment to their...
Which is what we always said could happen. They could not do it and use that performance for other things like resolution or frames, right? By the way, we got to shout out to Aaron Greenberg in the chat. He's in the chat. He says, enjoying listening to the show. Just saying hi. Shout out to you, Aaron Greenberg. Appreciate it. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, so I think it's going to help in situations like that where some games may get a patch to enable ray tracing. Some games may be able to get ray tracing. Some of these games that we see Digital Foundry dissect that are getting like 54, they're not 100% stable. Perhaps we'll start to see them being stable at 60 FPS. So I think it's good for the Series S. And all these idiots out there that, trying to make fun of the Series S. First of all, this console is super cheap. You're getting next generation games. And like I mentioned, there's a few omissions of games that don't have ray tracing, but for the price that you're getting it and the next generation games, it's a no-brainer. Just try to get that same type of performance on PC for that price. You ain't doing it. So I think the Series S is a fantastic machine. I think it's a companion machine. I think it's good for a second room. I think it's good for kids. I think it's good for someone that just wants to game at the entry level and doesn't want to pay the price of the Series X. So I think this is fantastic news for gamers, developers, for everybody involved. And let's just hope we see some of these games performing a little bit better that were a little bit underperformance.
Yeah, it'll definitely upgrade in the future as well as FSR 2.0. Zalker, do you want to grab some of these chats, man? And then we can, go forward.
Yeah, I got you. So we got KY Bob here. Proud member of the RDX Bench Squad, whatever that means. Lol, great show. Love you guys. Tuesdays are king with RDX. Appreciate you, KY. We got Splendiferous. Even though I just got my Series X, it's still hard to get a console, man. Be patient, guys, and remember, play what you love and don't care what anyone says. RDX.
Where are you? Series X's are available, man.
Hey, by the way,
There's a lot of consoles available.
I got to give another shout out to Aaron in the chat. He's talking to a lot of guys in the chat. If you guys don't know, he was basically the marketer for Xbox, their games. And again, I can't wait until the time where we see Aaron every day. He's wearing a different onesie with a game on it. It's going to be a shout out to Aaron, man, because he came onto the show and, he was a really, really good sport. And he again, listens to the feedback. A lot of guys think that the execs over there don't listen to the feedback. They don't want to hear it. That's all bullshit. Like, these guys definitely do. And again, shout out to Aaron for stopping by. Zalker, go ahead and continue with those. Sorry.
Yeah, we got Risk It. What makes EA look bad is the way they've mishandled studios, shutting down Visceral, a 2-week delay for Battlefield 2042, pushing monetization above gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do.
Risk It says,
we got Risk It. He says, let the studio do what they do, like Respawn. Well, Respawn has the power to do what they do because they've proven it.
And that's why their games are not failing, right?
Yeah. Creative control.
EA didn't give them too much freedom.
No. We got Jedi Knight Peter. EA really hurt their name with their sports games that they copy and paste with microtransactions on a yearly basis. Also, closing Visceral games hurt. Yeah, I mean, that's the sports game is, I think, the biggest one that people hate is that, like, Madden or something like that is just the same thing. We got Drawn TJ. He says, hi, guys. Great show tonight. Who do you think Microsoft buys next, a year after the Activision deal is done? Activision Blizzard, that's who I think. Let's just get that shit done.
Yeah. Any other acquisitions I honestly don't care about right now. Just like seeing any other game reveals, right? If I learn that Xbox is working on this and that, I don't care as much because I haven't really played or even seen much of the things they have announced, right? So we kind of just want things to get out and go, right? All right.
Yeah. And I just want the deal to be done so we can see what's going on and they can break their silence on certain stuff, right? Like, they couldn't say stuff. I remember when the Aaron was on the podcast when they bought Bethesda, and he was just like kind of like trying to not say as much as he could because the deal wasn't done, and he was like, "Yep, we're happy." And I was like, that was pretty much it. I feel like that's what they're doing now is just keeping quiet and waiting for that shit to be done.
Yep. Is that the final one?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Infinite Umbra, shout out to you, man. We've also got Charlie. We've got what is that? Marsco. Shout out to you, buddy. We've also got Jedi Knight Peter. We've got Risky for the Biscuit. We've got Bobo. We got Fatal Dragon. We got Drawn TJ. We got all the moderators of the show. Lethal Papa, Xbox Obi. Shout out to you guys. You guys and more. Han Solo, as well as Capono. Shout out to you in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Just some shout outs. We are going to end the show. I think we had some pretty decent topics today, guys, but that's about it. We're going to do some outros. Fonzarelli, what have you been playing, buddy? And where can people find you, huh?
Like I said, Road 96 and of course Multiverses. That's what I played this weekend. Quite a bit of actually. So it surprised me how fun that game is. So I haven't played a fighter like that in quite some time, Zocker, and it's partly your fault. You and my son got me into it. So yeah, my son sat there and he's like, "Yeah, give it a try." We played together. We played like all day Friday. We had a blast, and then Saturday night played with Dealer and a bunch of guys that are in the chat, and I did pretty well. Like it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we all did pretty well. It was fun. Bunch of old guys, like I said on my show, geriatric, hour with a bunch of older guys trying to play the game. All you heard was a bunch of clicks and stuff in the party chats because the controllers were just going wild. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, you can find me at Fonz Gaming here on YouTube and on Twitter. And of course, every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, you can find me on my show, Games Talk Live, there on Fonz Gaming YouTube channel, or listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the rest of the streaming platforms out there. I'm there. Yeah, just had a great show with Mav from Fun Speculation this Sunday, and this weekend I will be talking with K Mega 405. So I have a good time with him.
Yeah, K-Mega's awesome. We need to play some games again soon. Hey, also shout out to you, Mr. Boomstick. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's been a long time coming. Tell people what you've been playing and where can people find you.
You know what? I pick up Titanfall 2 and play all the time. I've recently just picked that up. I've been playing Stray on the PlayStation 5. Quite enjoy it. It's a great little game. Great little indie for sure. Been playing some old school arcade shooters, like top-down shooters. I'm enjoying that. Listen, folks, if you enjoyed any of the commentary that I had today, please check out Double Barrel Gaming on YouTube. We are 78 subs away from 11K. That is a big deal for this little channel. I have 4 live shows per week. Tuesday is Xbox Factor Podcast. Wednesday evenings is Primetime Gaming. Thursday afternoons is X Vlog Live, and Friday mornings is Breakfast with Boom. Dealer really, really loved being here. Loved the topics. Of course, love everybody on this panel. And a big shout out to 1,000 people that were watching. There's still 876 here and only 460 likes. Come on, folks. Do it for Dealer. Let's get the likes up. And thanks for having me, dude.
If you end up liking the show.
By the way, real quick, someone posted on Twitter something from Xbox Game Pass. It says, play Elden Ring now with Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that they're still locking cloud streaming behind the paywall, but it doesn't necessarily need to be in there, which is going to get confusing if they don't get their messaging together.
Correct.
Have Ultimate.
Yeah. Shout out to J-Rock in the chat, man. We were talking about some NBA last night on Twitter. Shoguns, shout out to you. Dreadpool as well. All you guys. Hey, Fonz, what have you been playing, buddy? And where can people find you? Did I already get Fonz?
You did get Fonz.
Okay, D-Batch, I meant you. D-Batch, what are you playing and where can people find you, bud?
It's kind of been a light week. I've been doing more summer things, riding and crap outside. I've been playing a little bit of Stray on my Steam Deck, but apart from that, like I said, it's been light. You guys can catch me on YouTube at D_Batch. Hopefully we get something really big dropping so I can talk about it because the topics are just too light for me right now. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at DBatch. It was a great show. Thanks for coming on, Boomstick. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, brother.
And we've also got the great and powerful Tim Dog. What have you been playing? Where people find you, bud? Zalker.
Fuck you, Tim.
I met you. What have you been playing? Where people find you, bud?
You guys know what I've been playing. You can find me on, well, first you can find me on Twitter, Zalk87, YouTube Zalk87, and I've been playing nothing but multiverses basically. I was playing a bunch of other games. I started replaying like, God of War a little bit and just jumping through stuff, but multiverses has literally taken over my life. It's probably going to become one of my staple games like Rocket League or Apex Legends, where I just keep going back to them and continuously play them for years. I've always said that the only franchise I wish I had from Nintendo is what you call it, Smash Brothers, because it's one of my favorites and I play it all the time no matter what. But this game to me feels like Smash Brothers, except with characters I actually care about, like Batman, Superman, all the cool DC characters. Rick and Morty's coming. I fucking love it, man. I can't stop playing it. I bought the $100 freaking Founders Pack like an idiot because, why not?
And you don't got to brag about it. Come on.
I mean, yeah, I'm bragging a bit. But no, I'm just having a good time, man. And so I just keep playing it. People really check it out. They seem to have a lot of content ready for it. And it's a great beta launch. And I can't wait for season 1. Going to rank up. And that's what I've been playing. And then I'm probably going to be playing Spider-Man on the PC this weekend because it drops. So looking forward to that. I want to see how it's going to run. Last time I played that was 30 frames at like 1080p or whatever the hell it was.
It might even be better in the PS5 version, Hey,
I mean, it probably is.
By the way, shout out to Jayhawk. He says, will third-party games ever utilize velocity architecture? That is a game design thing. So with game design, it doesn't scale to older hardware like that. So you literally have to wait for next generation games. That's why they're not using a few features right now, because if they use it, it can't run on the Xbox One. It has to have this memory throughput basically to run and do things how they want. And one box doesn't have it. Game design is held back. Visuals always scale. And hopefully we get some of those games sooner than later. We can see what they can actually do with something like velocity architecture. Right now, it's a pipe dream, seems like. I don't know. I'm ready for them to use some of that shit, too. I've been talking about it in videos. If you missed it, check out my last video, guys. And shout out to everyone who did. I appreciate you guys a lot. I'll be making more videos. The more stuff that's actually announced or put out there. As of right now, I don't think a white Elite controller is worth making a video about. But maybe that's my downfall. I don't know.
Xbox hardware.
Exactly. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thanks for supporting the show. We're gonna get out of here and go catch up on some games. I guess, I don't know. Sleep, die. We'll see you later.
I'm gonna go sleep like a fucking walrus. It's gonna be great.
Peace.
Later, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.